cutting that out. Ah. Oh, didn't see you there. Welcome to a story. Hey guys, welcome back to another story. And today I'm gonna be talking about my creepy neighbor. So this story, I always start off my story the same way. This story takes place in or on a So when this incident happened, I was in the 3rd grade. And we moved in, the house next door was empty and there's no one in there living there yet. So about a month has passed, so I've been living in my house for 2 months now, and then we got a new neighbor. And he had been living there for a few weeks, and on this day I had got my dogs and taken them on like their first walk, because like I just got these dogs, like they're still puppies. And so I was taking them on their first walk. As I'm walking them, he's like working on something in his yard. So he's sitting on the ground just like banging away. And I'm walking past him and he stops me. And he's like, oh my god, can I pet them? They're so cute. And I guess my dog had the right instinct because he wanted to bite him. Like he was literally trying to bite him the whole time, and he was barking at him, trying to bite him. I was like, okay, I don't think you should pet them. One, I felt like I shouldn't have been talking to him because he's a complete stranger. But I guess since my neighbor has an exception, but like at the same time, like I feel uncomfortable. It's weird. But that was like the first instinct that happened, and my sister came, and then that had gone away. This next kind of story happened when I was home alone after walking home from school. So my sister and I usually walk home together, but we went separate ways. We went to walk with our friends. So my sister walked with her friends and I walked with mine. So there's a certain point that I reached as I'm walking home that my friend and I have to separate. So she went home and I ended up walking the rest of the way by myself. And so I walk the rest of the way home, I get home, and then I get in the house, I'm by myself. And so the girl that I walk home with, we're close. So I called her and then we had like a short conversation on the phone. And then I looked at the window and that phone conversation had ended. I was like, I'm gonna call you right back. My neighbor's in my backyard. So I hung up the phone and I just watched him for a little bit. So I'm watching him, and in my backyard, like before we moved in, the old people who lived there, like the people who lived there before us, they left a doghouse in the backyard. And for me, I was waiting for my dogs to be old enough before I can actually like clean it out and let them use that doghouse. So it was kind of just there, and like we weren't gonna use it yet. So I'm sitting here watching him, you know, in my backyard, and he goes up to his doghouse. He has a hammer and he's taking like the other end of the hammer, like the nail remover part, and he's taking out all the nails in the doghouse. So I'm like, what is he doing? Like, what the heck? And then he takes the other half of the hammer, he starts smashing all the wood down. And at this point, I'm like, what the heck? No, what is he doing to my doghouse in my backyard? Like, he's on our property. So I guess he didn't know if anyone was home. Like, he didn't know I was home because like I'm not a loud person. Like, I guess he didn't know I was home. And so I'm still sitting here watching him. I'm like, what the heck? Where's he going? And then he's sitting here taking the wood into his backyard and putting it into like a bonfire pit. So he's taking our doghouse, well, our now doghouse, and using it for his fire. What the heck? So at this point, I'm like, okay, no. And then he starts opening the shed, because we had like a shed back there. He starts opening the shed looking for stuff. I'm like, what is he doing? Like, why are you in our backyard? You don't have a tree, that's your own problem. Like, get out. And so at this point, I call my mom. I'm like, okay, the neighbor's in our backyard, and he's tearing down the doghouse in our backyard, and he's putting it in his bonfire. I don't know if my mom was at work at this time, but she got home pretty quick, and she just told me to like wait. So she gets home and she's like going to my backyard to see that the doghouse is no longer there, and she sees that in his backyard has wood. And so she goes up to his house and she's yelling at him. I don't know how the conversation went, but she's pretty much just yelling at him, telling him like you have no right to go in our backyard and stuff. And he tries to claim that it was his wood, that he didn't get it from our backyard. I saw you with my own eyes in our backyard tearing it down. Like, I saw it from beginning to end. Like, I heard him. Because the way my room was set up, like, I was the furthest room in the back. So, like, when I looked outside, I just saw the backyard. So that's how close I was. And I could see him come around, like, okay, this is the gate. I could see him walk around the gate, come around into our backyard, and walk to the doghouse. So I saw him going to the doghouse. So I was like, what the heck? How are they gonna claim this is his wood, but I clearly saw him in here? And so my mom, I don't remember if she called the police or not, like this happened so long ago. So I think they just had an argument and she threatened to call the police, but I don't actually think she did at this point. But the thing is, later that night, I think this was a Friday. Later that night, he has the bonfire with the dog's wood still, like the doghouse wood. He still has the freaking party that he was planning. They have like the little horseshoe game, they have the bonfire going, they have barbecue, and it's late as heck at night. So I'm looking out my window like, what the heck? And then my friend who lived next door, so this is the house. I lived here, the neighbor was here, and then my friend was on this side of the house. So my friend on this side, she goes to that bonfire party. I didn't tell her about the incident, but she goes to that bonfire party, and she comes to my window, and she's like, hey, do you want some s'mores? I made you a s'more, do you want it? I was like, no. Like, I was like looking out my window, I'm like, no, what the heck? And she's like, oh, okay, well, let me know if you want one. Now that I think about this, how am I supposed to let you know? I'm not allowed to be outside right now. How am I supposed to let you know? I moved in the spring, and I was in 3rd grade at the time. Yeah, moved in 3rd grade. So a couple months has passed, and it's now summer. Like, I was trying to make sure I had my information correct before I said summer. So a couple months have passed, and it's now summer. And after that whole incident, I feel like this is like an apology thing, but my mom's on her, like, she gets home and she's like, okay, he's getting out the car, getting ready to come up to the porch, and he stops her. Like, my mom told me this. He stops her and he was like, oh, I had an old swing set in my backyard, but I gave it to you guys as a gift. So backtrack for a second. During this bonfire party that happened, I noticed that swing set there, but like I didn't think anything of it, like it was just like a swing set. And my friend who was next door to me would go and play on that swing set, which is still really creepy to me, even though I knew my friend's dad and my neighbor were friends. But like, that's still weird to me. Like, you go in his backyard playing his swing set, and then what? You go home? Like, that's just so weird. But that swing set that was in his backyard, he now put into mine. One, I feel like that was a way to apologize for breaking or sneaking into my backyard in the first place and to take my doghouse down. But also, I feel like that was just a way for him to get rid of the swing set, because it was so old. I kid you not, like, it was one of those rusty old play set swing sets you put in your backyard. Oh, like, it was rusty. The swings barely worked. There's parts missing, like the little hanging thing that you would have, like the little bar, and there was one swing, like it kind of semi-functioned, but then the whole thing rocked so bad because you have to like dig a hole and put the post in the hole for it to like sit there. I was beyond annoyed. Like, I played on it obviously because my friends were like, oh, can we go on your swing set? Another background, like backstory. But my friend and I who lived next door to me, she had like a picket fence, but she would climb up on the fence to like look over into my backyard, and we would like talk like that. Like, it was like a Phineas and Ferb Isabella moment. Like, hey, what you doing?
What you doing?
We would like see if I wanted to have like hang out or whatever. So she would like come over the fence and talk to me. So she noticed that I had a swing set. This one time she talked to me, and then she's like, hey, can we come on your swing set? And it was her and her cousin, I think, that came over. Those are the stories about my creepy neighbor. The reason he's creepy is the fact that he wanted to pet my dogs when I didn't know him, and he was acting like really weird, like, hey, oh my god, I love your dogs, can I pet them? Like, no. But I can't say no because I'm a little kid. I'm like already under the authority of him. Like, I can't explain it. But that, and then he's creeping in my backyard, like being weird. And then he always, that's one thing. He always wanted to like hang out with my dad or like make plans with my family and go out. When he was single, he lived by himself, I'm pretty sure. Like he didn't have a girlfriend or anything. Like I think he had a girlfriend for like a hot minute, but like not one that you would go out to dinner with. And he would always knock on the door like, hey, I'm having a party next door if you guys want to come over and like hang out, you know. So it's kind of weird. Like, kind of really weird. But yeah, that's my creepy neighbor. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this story. In my last video, I didn't even make an outro. Like that's, how do you not make an outro in a video? That doesn't make any sense. Videos are often recorded on like random days and I kind of just wait for people to take the poll. So if the video does get uploaded and it's like a different date, don't question it, because I probably pre-record the video, and if it hit so many votes on the poll, then I would post it. But that's like the one reason why it would be posted on a different date. Like if I say like June 2nd in this video, just know it's pre-recorded. I may or may not have another poll here. Oh, Jesus Christ. I may or may not have another poll here. But if I do, make sure you go and vote on that poll so I know what video I need to make next out there. I just want people watching my stories. I don't really care about the subscriber count. I just want people watching my stories and listening to my embarrassing life. My life, okay? My life. Now, I think the video options I'm gonna put up is my stories of me almost drowning, because I have about 3 now. I have 3. How I dislocated my kneecap, and then I would have friend's cousin bully me. That sounds very borderline, like normal, I guess. So this video is getting way too long, but make sure you, okay, I know I said in my like first videos that I'm not gonna make you hit the subscribe button, I'm not gonna make you hit the like button, I'm not gonna make you do any of that. But please, I need you to hit the subscribe button. I'm sorry. I know I wasn't gonna say that before, but I kind of need to hit a goal. I need to set a goal for myself. I can't sit here like, I don't care about subscribers, blah, blah, blah. Make me grow. Please, make me grow. Make me grow.